Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid episode 6. If you haven't watched Duoder's, you don't watch Duoder's reviews, I mentioned this in that one, is that this is the first one in a week because you probably know we were on hiatus for a week, which is always a nice vacation. But we are back with Ex-Aid, and it was a pretty solid episode. It started off, I thought it was just kind of be average, and then we kind of actually got more into Brave's story, which was nice. And I thought it was a good touch for the episode. It was mainly about Brave because we were introducing his level 3 form. So, something I really liked about this episode, or I guess that's kind of almost too much build-up, but what I found interesting, something I liked, is that the enemy had like a musical attack ability, which is kind of a Toku trope-ish. It's not like I've seen in every season, but you'll see dumb plots like that every now and then. And usually when that comes around, when the monster forces you to sing or dance, you'll see me rolling my eyes. It's Toku nonsense, makes me want to like low-key vomit. But this one worked because it was video game-like. Like, don't get me wrong, there's probably still at least a 10% eye roll going on. But because they based it around rhythm games, it so worked for the charm of the show, and also as like a video game nerd, it's like perfect in that way. And all I could think about was the scene in Konami's press conference when they were doing the thing. Very, very exercise. But so that was just funny to see him attacking at them and Ex-Aid doing it right. And Brave's like, whatever man, I'm not in this. And I just thought that was funny. And that that's the way that his powers ended up working with that. It's just, I love how perfectly they nail the video game genres and trying to represent them in combat or power use or whatever. It was just cool to me. Like I said, not only as a video game nerd, but it was like a perfect way to get something that usually I hate about a Toku plot and make it charming in certain ways. So I thought that was cool. And we learned we didn't learn how to speak. I didn't. We learned a little bit more about Graphite's past with we kind of knew that Snipe had a grudge against him, and we just kind of reconfirmed that with, oh, he didn't defeat him 5 years ago. You know, Begins Night, Global Freeze, the Night Wizard, like, everything went down 5 years ago at some night for everyone. But so that, and we found out that Brave pulled like a full-on Doctor Strange and was treating Japanese Rachel McAdams bad, and then she got sick with the Bugster virus and wound up disappearing, and she didn't tell him because she didn't want him to lose focus on his studies. And so now he's kind of got a grudge against Graphite. So very much a Ex-Aid, Doctor Strange, Kamen Rider Knight mashup going on there. So yeah, I get a feeling, I'm like maybe 95% sure she'll be back. Like, not even just in like a flashback, but it seems like we don't kill any people off anymore. I guess we did in Gaim. But, you know, I get the feeling since they said disappeared that she's probably somewhere. I kind of hope I'm wrong. Like, that sounds bad, but sometimes when you bring back people like that, it takes away from their character. Like, their character background and sort of their motivation in a way. It could make it more interesting later if it's trying to get her back, but it just kind of bothers me. Like, I don't know why these two examples are standing out, but Doggy Kruger and Taizan both had lost, like, their wife and fiance, and, like, it was an element of their character and what drove them, and then at the end they're like, oh, never mind, she's fine. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of cheapens their backstory. And it's a cliche backstory for pretty much any hero to have lost some sort of loved one, but, and these aren't on that scale, but that would be like at the end of a Batman comic, movie, or show being like, oh, your parents weren't even dead the whole time. Like, I don't know, it's just, it bothers me. But it's something bothering me that hasn't even happened yet. I'm just kind of assuming. But so yeah, it was just nice to get story about that. And that was like really the only main thing that happened in it, honestly. Everything else was kind of just fighting, little bits here and there. Emu, of course, being like, the patient comes first, and like, you know how he is. At least in this case, he wasn't really in the wrong. There was a moment where I just feel like, I'm noticing that like almost every episode, he's like bothering Brave and Snipe about who they're fighting. Like, I talked about in multiple episodes how Snipe would be fighting someone, and granted he'd be doing it for the wrong reasons or like in conflict with Ex-Aid at the time, but like there was really no need for Ex-Aid to try to stop him or Brave to try to stop him. And then like in this case, Ex-Aid was fighting the Bugster that was attacking the patient, and of course Brave was going after Graphite because, you know, he killed his girlfriend. And Ex-Aid's like, we should be focusing on the patient's enemy, and it's like, that's true, I totally get that, but you know, you could put your efforts into fighting the guy and maybe destroying him on your own, instead of stopping your fighting to tell Brave what to do, because you have the level 3, you could probably take this. Like I said, he was in the right there. It's just, again, it's just a little bit, hey, worry about yourself, you know? This isn't Sentai or Power Rangers where we have to have 5 people together to accomplish one task. This is Rider. You could probably do it by yourself. Let Brave have his little revenge fantasy. It was kind of stupid on Brave's part, though, too, to be fair, since last week Ex-Aid actually was smart enough to say, hey, if I take out this monster and take his level 3 thing, I'll be more powerful to fight this more powerful enemy, which Brave didn't realize that until Ex-Aid, like, jumped in front of the thing, like, oh, hey, if I take this new Gashat, I can get level 3 and be stronger to fight. So, yeah. Everyone just kind of has a dose of stupid that I notice every now and then. But otherwise, I'm still enjoying the show. This is probably the shortest Ex-Aid review I have, because even though that sort of more substantial, I'm doing this a lot, thing happened in this episode, there wasn't a whole lot of different elements going on. It was mainly just kind of par for the course fighting and stuff, and then a little bit of backstory. But yeah, next week we are getting level 3 for Laser, which will be cool because it's his second humanoid form and first humanoid correctly proportioned form. So yeah, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But overall, this episode I think was very solid. Not like the absolute most amazing they've ever done, but solid. Probably a 7 out of 10. But anyway, until next time, make sure you have the crazy podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Toss the Rider, signing out.